I have completed my second go at the 75 Hardstyle Challenge, and I'm here today to share with you how it's all been going. I'm going to start off by running through the guidelines and how I did with those, and then I have some other thoughts to share with you at the end. So the first guideline for this challenge was to get dressed for 75 days, and I have done that. That might not sound very difficult to some people, and it isn't really for me either. The thing for me is that I like to just be very, very comfortable when I'm home and don't have to go anywhere, like on weekends or days off. And I'm not saying that my normal everyday clothes are uncomfortable, but it's very nice to wake up in the morning and just put on loungewear and just stay in that. And I wanted to challenge myself during the 75 Hardstyle Challenge to actually not do that, to actually get dressed in a real proper outfit every single day. And then I was allowed to change into like loungewear or something down the line during the day, but I did actually get dressed properly for every single day of this challenge, and big pat on the back to me for that. The second guideline is to document your outfits, and I have done that as per usual on my wearing. I know that when I made my announcement video for this challenge that I was doing this again, I said that I was going to look into making shorts or vertical videos of my daily outfits, and that didn't end up happening once. I have been very busy. I have done other things, but just documenting my outfit in my wearing, which is open. You can go see my outfits there if you want to, but I've done it in wearing, and I've also had my separate spreadsheet where I track my cost per wear, and I'm happy with where I've been documenting my outfits. I'm very happy to document in wearing. I've done that for over 3 years at this point. I'm very comfortable with that app, but it would have also been fun to make the vertical videos. I just didn't have the time or prioritize making them. We'll see if it's something that I do down the line, but for now I'm happy with how I am documenting and keeping track of my outfits. The next guideline was to not buy anything new for my wardrobe. I can buy other things, but not for my wardrobe, and I did succeed with that. I haven't bought anything clothing-wise in the past 75 days. I did, however, go to 2 clothing swaps during this challenge, and I have a video up here with my finds, and that is something that I set out to do. Like, it was intentional that I went to those. I mentioned them already in my announcement video, but also the clothes were free, so I may have introduced 6 new items into my wardrobe, but they didn't cost anything, so I didn't break the rule or the guideline of not buying anything new. I have also worn 4 out of those 6 pieces already. The 2 I haven't worn yet are turtlenecks, and it's now summer, and I don't want to wear these until fall, but I'm very happy with the outcome, the experience, and what I brought home. Next up was setting your own goals for this challenge, and I set 2.5. The first one was to lower my cost per wear to an average of 28 Swedish kronor on average, and I have actually gotten it down to 21. I am really happy with that. My overall goal for the year is 20, so I'm getting very, very close to that. However, like I've mentioned in a couple of my recent videos, my vacation is coming up. It is summer, and now with this video, my 75 Hardstyle Challenge has wrapped up, meaning my no-buy has wrapped up, meaning I am allowed to thrift again. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later in this video, but there are some things that I hopefully be getting soon. The second goal I set for myself for this challenge was in relation to my wardrobe usage. I want to wear everything in my wardrobe at least 1 time this year. That is a goal I've had for the last 3 years, and I've succeeded in the first 2, hoping to also succeed this year. And I wanted to get my usage up until this point, up until mid-June when this challenge wraps up, I wanted to have reached a usage of 65%. I'm at 80.5%. I have done really well, and I'm really happy with that. The third goal I set for myself was to accessorize. I am someone who wears the same rings every day. My glasses, I guess you could say, are an accessory, but I need them to see, and I only have the 1 pair. And then I usually wear a little silver heart, which I've taken off, which maybe goes against the accessorizing thing. But I wanted to accessorize at least 20 days out of this challenge, and I have failed. I have failed at that own goal, and I got to a point when it was just not possible to reach that goal anymore. I had drawn this, which I don't know how well you can see. It's a piece of paper with some circles on it, and I filled them in, like the date and what I accessorized with, and there are 8 little circles filled in on this note. Although I'm realizing now, I'm filming this on Saturday the 13th. Tomorrow is actually my final day, but I've already planned out and cataloged and logged my outfit for that. And I am actually wearing a belt today, and I'm going to be wearing this exact same outfit tomorrow. That's what I've planned out. And that means that I've actually accessorized for 2 more days, which makes 10, which makes half of the days when I was supposed to. But even though I have failed this challenge and not reached the 20 days of accessorizing, I have still accessorized more than I do in a normal month. And I am trying to figure out if I like it or not. Like, some of these days just felt like a chore, but some days when I did, I really enjoyed it. For example, I have this little scarf that isn't here, so I can't show you, but it's a square scarf. It's white with some purpley pattern on it. I really like that scarf. I got it for next to nothing last year and I really enjoy it. I've tied it around my neck, which felt really good. I had an outfit that I wore during this challenge that I really liked with that scarf tied, and then I've worn it in my hair. I could probably wear it like on a bag or around my wrist or something as accessorizing as well, and I really enjoyed the outfits I did with that scarf. There were 2, I believe. But then there were other days where I was like, oh, I really should accessorize. Fine, I'll put something on. And it kind of felt like a chore, and it kind of just felt like it was fussy and in the way a little bit. And I now have a job for the first time in my entire career where I do not have to wear headphones on the daily at work. I've previously worn pretty big headphones for the majority of my working hours, which have made earrings, or at least like big earrings, very difficult. Now I don't do that at my work anymore, but sadly the days when I put earrings on, I was instead editing. And I used pretty big headphones for that, and then that was uncomfortable and I had to take them off. So yes, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to accessorize, if I want to accessorize. I don't want it to feel like a hassle, I want it to be fun, and I don't really think I should be getting more accessories until I figure out whether or not I like it. The next guideline for the challenge was to get creative and rely on your own brain for inspiration. And I think I've done that. I said in the announcement that I wasn't too worried about relying on my own brain or finding other inspiration. That is not something I struggle with. I feel like I can get dressed without inspiration, and I also think it's fun to have inspiration and get inspired by. But I have gotten dressed. I think I've relied on my own brain. And I have worn a couple outfits throughout this challenge that I've thoroughly enjoyed, especially 2 that I can think of right now were really nice. The final guideline was to organize and clean out your closet, and I have done really well with this. Firstly, there is a closet clear out video up here where I thoughtfully went through my wardrobe and pulled a few pieces that no longer worked for me. Most of them just weren't fitting me. That was the problem with them. And I'm very glad to be rid of those pieces. If they don't fit me, I'm not going to try to make myself fit into them. They should not be staying. They should make someone else happy. There were a couple pieces, I think 2 pieces, that I set aside to hopefully mend to make fit me, because those pieces are so special and precious to me. And I haven't mended those yet, so we'll see how that goes. I also put this back up, which you can't see, but right here I have a curtain rod hanging from some hooks in the ceiling. I have a slanted ceiling. That is like my clothing rack, and this fell down a long time ago because the threads, the rope I was using was too thin, and it's now been fixed. It's now hanging. I'm very happy with it. For my folded stuff, which is t-shirts, knitwear, and pants, I have some cubbies. You can't probably not see them at all. Not really. They are over there, and I've had them for a little while. I like them a lot, but they don't have any knobs on them or handles on them, and I have actually gone out and bought handles, which I'm happy with. However, I have not yet managed to attach them. I got a little bit discouraged when I tried to do that, and my I think the hole is too small for the screw, and I need to make the hole a little bit bigger or screw it in with more of a power tool, and I'll get to that eventually. I just haven't yet. We'll see if I do today or tomorrow. Seems unlikely, but I have made good progress, and I have, like I said, I've organized and cleaned out my closets. The handles and hanging this back up are additions, I guess, but they belong in the same category of organizing and fixing my closets, and I'm very happy to soon have handles for those cubbies. So with the challenge now being over, what are my plans moving forward? Well, I've touched on some things already in this video. Firstly, I am going to be thrifting again. That seems very likely. It's something I very much want to do, and I've been in contact with 2 different sellers on Vinted about stuff that I'm really interested in, and I might just take that plunge and get those things, which I'm really excited about. But also now vacation is coming up for me. I will have more time on my hands. There are some places I'm going to go to where I will be thrifting, and just because I go thrifting doesn't mean that I'm bringing something home with me, but the intention is to go thrifting, and if I find something that I like, it will be moving it with me. As for accessorizing, which I also touched on, we will just see if I keep doing that, when I do that, how I feel about doing it. I want to keep trying, but I also don't want to like make myself accessorize. I don't have to accessorize if I don't like it. Hopefully I will, but as I said, I have been struggling a little bit with it. It just doesn't come naturally to me. It's not something that I'm used to doing. And is that a muscle I want to train, or is it not important to me? I'm not exactly sure. My cost per wear and usage tracking is of course continuing. That is something I'm doing for this entire year. And like I said, my goal for the cost per wear tracking is 20 Swedish kronor at the end of the year, and I'm sitting at 21 right now. However, when I made my May wrap-up video for the cost per wear, I did say that I'm actually raising my goal for my cost per wear for June, because I want to be able to thrift now that this challenge is over, and I want to also be able to thrift in July. So once that rolls around, my cost per wear goal will probably be higher as well than its current 21 that I'm at right now, or the 28 that it was for this challenge. I am really glad that I'm doing the cost per wear tracking and the usage tracking, I guess, but that has been not as hard. And also I've done it for 2 years in a row, and I have a system to make sure I wear everything in my wardrobe. But the cost per wear tracking has been really useful for me, I feel, so far. My cost per wear goal has made me look at potential new purchases in a different way, because I have set a goal for myself for this year. So my plan when I introduce things into my wardrobe is that I want to have them for a long time. Then sometimes things happen. My size change, my tastes change, something happens to the item, right? Things can happen, but my intention is always to wear them for the future. I'm not necessarily saying it'll be 40 years, I'm not saying it will be 2 years, but I want to keep the item in my wardrobe for the foreseeable future. Sometimes that is longer, sometimes that is shorter, sometimes it doesn't work out. This dress, for example, I'll talk about at some point. We are not really friends, this dress and I, which is a shame. But even so, I want to wear the things I introduce into my wardrobe. But when I'm now looking at a potential purchase, I will look at the item and I will go, okay, since I want my average cost per wear at the end of the year to be 20 Swedish kronor or less would be nice. I don't need to get every single item down to that, but nothing should be too high, right? Because that will just drive up the average. So I will look at the item and I will go, okay, you cost this much. Is it reasonable that I will get these many wears out of you this year to get your cost per wear down to 20? For example, there is a sort of jumpsuit thing that I'm looking at and hopefully getting off of Vinted. We will see. I'm still trying to make that decision, and I will barter a bit because that is how Vinted works. It's very rare to buy something for the listed price. But if I was to buy that item for the listed price, it would be around 500 Swedish kronor, which is a fair bit of money. And to get the cost per wear of that item down to 20, I'd have to wear it 25 times this year. Does that seem doable? That's the kind of thing I'm trying to figure out. And with me saying that I'm now feeling a little bit more strategic, cost per wear wise, about the pieces I introduce into my wardrobe, that doesn't mean that I'm not getting expensive pieces, and it doesn't mean that I'm allowed to get as many cheap pieces as I want. I still want there to be longevity. Sometimes you mess up a bit. We'll get to this dress at some other point. But I know that I have questioned a little bit in previous videos if I'm going to be able to get the cost per wear of this one item down enough to get to 20. And I don't know necessarily that I will for all of my items. And all of my items, again, is not the aim. The aim is an average. But I also don't want to introduce a bunch of cheap items just because they are cheap and they are low cost per wear. I still want to get items that I like and that I want to wear and that I hopefully want to keep for a very long time. But yes, the 75 hard style challenge is now over for me, or it will be tomorrow when I'm filming this, but everything is planned out smoothly, hopefully, for tomorrow. And I'm very happy to have done it again. I have not found it very hard this time around either. I did miss thrifting a lot more, I feel like, this time around than the last time I did this challenge. And I think, like I said in the previous video, I think a lot of that has to do with the seasons. We are now in summer. I started this when spring was just about starting to creep in, and I have missed the warmer weather. When I did it last time, it was October into December, and that was cold. And there wasn't as much daylight, there wasn't as much excitement, it was just cold and dreary and layers is fun, I like layers. But I think I'm just less drawn to thrifting or shopping or being out and about in the winter months than I am summer months anyway, or it was just a coincidence that time around. But yes, I am very excited that this challenge is now over. I've had a good time with it, and I will now start thrifting again, which I'm very excited about. The thing I am the happiest about though with this challenge is that I got dressed every single day in something that wasn't just loungewear. There has been several times when I've swapped into loungewear, but I am very happy to have put on 75 outfits and then some loungewear. And has every outfit been unique? No, I just said I'll be wearing this again tomorrow. But yes, I am very pleased and proud of myself that I managed to do the getting dressed every day thing. So I guess that just leaves one question, at least from me. You may have more questions, put them in the comments down below. But one question remains for me. And that is, will I be doing this again? I'm not sure. When I did it the first time, I was very certain that I was going to do it again because I wanted to try to do it in a different season, and now I have. It was October through December last time, and now it's been April through mid-June. So I feel like I've got a good grasp of all seasons. It's been a little bit of fall, a little bit of winter, a little bit of spring, a little bit of summer. So I have now tried it over all seasons, and I don't know if I want to do it again. I think it's been a good experience. I have enjoyed both challenges and I haven't really struggled with them, which is nice. It's nice to not have to struggle, but I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I play on and off with ideas of like, do I want to do a no buy? Do I want to do a low buy? Do I want to have no limitations, like different things that I could do, different challenges I could do, and they could be long term, they could be short term, they could be based around a color or a type of item or any of those fun things. I did talk about a lot of those kinds of things in this video if you're interested. Just ways you can make your wardrobe and your clothes more exciting without shopping, if that's something you want to do. I don't have any other challenges lined up at the moment apart from finishing my cost per wear goal and my usage goal for the year, but I'm not saying no to doing this challenge again. I just don't know when I would do it and if I will do it. So I guess time will tell. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and for following along on this journey with me. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you have ever tried this challenge, if you would consider doing it, if this is something you do without it actually being a set challenge, this is just how you live your life, also valid. I would love to hear any and all of your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll be back with another video soon, so I hope to see you then. Bye!